Yo, what up guys, Travic here, and today I want to talk monk weapons. Very recently, we've been putting out a lot of information about monk, and you guys have been asking me, what kind of weapon do I buy? What do I search for? What should I be doing? Should I be buying this? Should I be buying that? Do I want a 20 div weapon? Do I want a 15 div weapon? What do I want? And what should I be buying? Well, if we pull up trade and we take a look, weapons range anywhere, if they're in stock, from 1 div all the way to 20 divs, and they get really expensive really quick. And you're always like, oh my God, I can't afford a 20 div weapon. What do I do? What should I not do? Is there an option? Is there a solution? And today we're going to talk about weapons and different solutions and things that you can do. If you've seen my top 10 video about questions, you'll notice in the last chapter of this video, we talk about taking the gloves off, and we really, give a lot of detail about the weapons. And we try to say that, if you have a good weapon, you can get by. And people have constantly been asking, well, what do I want? My personal weapon that I have been using, that I've been cruising through all the content with, has physical damage, cold damage, critical hit chance, and critical bonus damage. This 15% critical strike chance on my weapon gives me that beautiful 77% critical strike chance alongside my passive tree. If I remove the 5% critical strike chance off my weapon, I lose roughly 25% critical strike chance, meaning that every 1% over 10 on the critical hit chance on the staff gives us about 5% flat crit. And you can see this weapon has no crit chance, and we swap it and we go 77 to 52. On top of that, I have critical bonus on my weapon. You see, we have a whopping 56% critical bonus damage. With our passive tree, this is giving us 546% critical strike chance. If I reduce the amount of critical strike by 30% or 32%, you would assume that we should have about 510 or 515% critical bonus damage. Hey, surprise cat. Now, we could test this by taking another weapon that has way less critical strike chance and seeing the difference between critical bonus damage. We'll remove 32%. We should only lose, and we should go down to like 514, 512 or so. And we see if we swap our weapons out, 32% critical strike bonus is giving us roughly 100% crit bonus damage. We could see that here. So we have 24% critical strike bonus from our soul cores right here and right here. And then we take it out and we put this in. We go back to our skill 434. So it's quite a lot to lose 32% critical strike bonus. Now, that tells us a couple of things. One, it tells us that critical strike hit chance is massive on weapons and something we really want. And critical bonus damage is also something massive on our weapons that we want. Now, in Path of Exile 1, we're very used to Fizz being the king of the crop. Fizz is everything that we want, and Fizz is where you're aiming to be. Well, I have a weapon here that doesn't have Fizz. It has very little Fizz. It has flat Fizz being the 34 to 44 physical damage. And instead, it has a ton of lightning damage and a ton of increased elemental damage with attacks. If I take off my weapon right now and I swap these two weapons out, I gain an absolute massive amount of damage over my weapon here. The big difference between these two weapons is we're missing critical strike bonus and we're missing critical strike chance, but our sheet DPS still goes up. Overall, it's a downgrade because we lose crit strike chance for weapon penetration, but this is telling us something very important. It's saying that increased elemental damage with attacks is scaling our weapon like a lot. Like a whole lot. And we could test that again here with a weapon that has extremely little Fizz, no flat damage at all, and put this weapon on, and we could see that while crit goes up, our damage is slightly less than our main weapon. Our main weapon has flat Fizz, or a bunch of percent Fizz, I should say, and our main weapon has a bunch of cold, and we could see just taking away the flat cold and the massive amount of Fizz, the 269 top end, to a 113 top end, we don't lose much damage at all. If anything, the damage that we're losing is from the critical hit bonus, making us lose a ton of extra damage. This is also telling us that WED, or increased elemental damage with attacks, also known as WED, or weapon elemental attack damage from Path of Exile 1, is scaling our weapon to the moon alongside, elemental skills and critical hit strike chance. So we're able to really deduce that increased elemental damage with attacks is really good on a weapon. So now we've narrowed it down. We need a weapon with critical strike chance, critical strike bonus, and weapon elemental attack damage. And if we're looking for something cheap and something reasonably affordable, on stream today, I did pick up this weapon. This weapon, as is, there are a whole bunch of them with really low percent crit chances, but you can indeed pick up this weapon on more or less the cheaper scale. It is out there, it is available, and it would be a relatively decent budget weapon for you to play around with. Now, when I was on stream and I picked up this weapon earlier, they flew off the shelf, people were crazy, and they bought them all out right away. You see, when we go to the trade site, they're about 1 divine for really poorly rolled ones. And the way to get a better rolled one is to come up here. You want to search critical hit strike chance, and you want to put like 8%, 7%. You want to get as close to 10 within budget as you can. 841, 869, 834, 845. There's one 992 for 3. This one would be really insane if this guy ever comes back and he answers. But these weapons are probably common. I mean, if you look at them, there's 33 in stock right now. And if I take this off and I hit search, there's 87 in stock. So there's a decent amount of them. I'm also assuming too, a lot of you guys probably don't even know this weapon exists. This is probably sitting in a bunch of people's tabs. And we can even see if we just kind of look here, and there's a way, no listed price. If we search no listed price, there's a bunch of them just sitting with no listed price. Like this guy, oh, that's mine. I was like this guy's got an insane one. That's mine. That's mine I was testing with. There's one here listed 30 minutes ago. The guy just sitting there. We could probably offer him a div. He'd probably sell, and you'd be able to find the weapon relatively good. Now, with this weapon, I was able to test on stream and do all content. I actually have a breach done to show you guys, and we are going to put this weapon on and show you what it looks like and how this is an absolutely wonderful starter weapon for you to get rolling. The weapon I have now, I self-corrupted it. It hit a little bit of fire damage. It does give it a little bit more damage. I put soul cores in it for increased critical strike bonus, and we're just going to swap out our weapon here. We're going to see we have that beautiful 97% crit, 61,000 damage, 434 crit multi, and we're going to give it a real test. Now, our Atlas tree is still the same from earlier. You see we have the exact same Atlas tree. Nothing's really changed. Everything is the same from the rarity video that we put out earlier. And we're just going to put this in and see how it goes. Now, something really cool to note about this weapon is something really cool to note about Monk is Monk can really take advantage of cast on freeze, cast on shock, cast on crit, and put in Eye of Winter. You put Eye of Winter, cast on freeze, cast on shock, Eye of Winter, impetus, deceleration, and then you drop a bell and immediately delete bosses. And this weapon actually refunds the energy, so you can constantly keep chaining this. But we're not going to do that in this video. We'll save that for another video. We just want to showcase the power of the weapon, it being a completely budget option, and go into this breach that we're in right now. This breach that we just opened up, opening up my skill tree, we see it's a tier 4 breach. It is the highest level of breach that we can go into. And we're just going to take a look at what a very cheap basic weapon would cost us. Now, if anything, at the time of recording, I picked up this weapon on stream for 1 div, as close as I can to 10%. I don't know if when you watch this weapon will still be this cheap, but you can get an 8%er to start with. It is a great starting option for those of you looking to play Monk who can't find a really good weapon for cheap on trade. It is a perfect starter weapon. You see too, just kind of cruising through this, we're killing everything, no problem. And even if we take off our gloves, we do a little bit less damage, but we still get these beautiful, beautiful explodes that we're looking for. Yeah, our damage goes down a whole lot because we took off the gloves, but you can see we can still kill the mobs in here, no problem. And as we scale up our damage, we can get things going. So for those of you who are wondering, like, should I buy the gloves first or should I buy the weapon first? If you can afford the gloves and you can't find a weapon, this is an option for you. There we go. Going here, killing this, no problem. Coming around the corner here. Now, I don't expect this weapon in this test to kill the boss anywhere near as fast as the weapon that I use on my day-to-day. We kill the breach boss relatively quickly without any issues. We shouldn't have any issues in here. I did test this weapon out on stream. It worked beautifully on stream. I'm hoping for the recording we don't accidentally get clapped. But I mean, if we get clapped, we can all laugh about it and talk about it. I'm human. and just kind of get a feel for how the weapon works. All right, we're almost there. We're coming up to the end now. We're a little slowed. Got our charge staff going, build up some charges to go into the boss encounter with. Okay, there we go. We're gonna hit this. Oh, that's a big staff. We'll grab these and this and this and this and this and that, and then let's go fight this boss and see what happens.
I cannot.
We're gonna meditate up. Oh, we're already full. We're feeling pretty good about ourselves. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Before charge staff falls off. Nice. There you go. Pretty straightforward and simple. Now, it could have been faster had we had a bigger weapon on it. Could have been faster with our cast on crit, cast on shock setup. But you can see right away, we were able to kill the boss, no problem. We stood there, we kicked his butt, we chilled him, we shocked him, we froze him. And it's just a simple, very cheap weapon that you can get started. I don't know if it'll still be cheap by the time this video comes out, but I did want to showcase and talk about weapons and just kind of give you guys an idea of a starter weapon that can really get the ball rolling. If you are hunting though for rare weapons on the trade site, things I would look for increased elemental attack damage with attacks. I would look for crit strike chance. I would look for crit strike bonus. I would look for flat lightning and high percent fizz. If I were to like buy a weapon, I'd go crit strike chance, crit strike bonus, increase elemental attack damage with weapons. I'd go high fizz. I'd go lightning damage, and if I could, attack speed. I'm still not 100% on the cores. Some part of me says there's a really good option for sticking increased elemental attack damage cores in, but I'm pretty positive it's critical strike bonus damage. But POB is right around the corner, and as soon as that comes out, we'll be able to figure out what the perfect weapon is and get that information out to you guys. But for now, I wanted to make something simple, quick, easy. I wanted to showcase to you guys an absolute beautiful budget weapon that you two can play with and kind of get rolling. Something that might not break the bank to help your monks get rolling. If you do have another weapon, then don't even worry about it. Use the information in this video to search for an upgrade to your regular tier weapon. But I know a lot of you guys ask about weapons, so I figured I'd get that information out. If you like this video and you learned something, please leave a comment down below. It'll mean the absolute world to me. And don't forget the thumbs up button. It helps the video out tremendously. You guys have been great. Thank you for everything. Thank you for all the continued support. I appreciate you. And if you made it this far in the video, high five. But for now, friends, I'm going to leave this video out to you guys, and I'll see you all in the next one.